Hi, hey, welcome back again. It's really nice that we are here again in my place to talk about things that we have, situations that we live, and moments that we can tell to other people and we can share our own experience. So I'm really happy you're here today, and this is the Level Up English podcast. Again, so thanks for being here with me. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to make your English much better. Trust it. So today there is a good topic. So we're going to be talking about work and life balance. Well, and this is a very interesting thing because, I think nowadays it seems that we've been more and more productive along the way. And the question of today is, are you really living? Oh my God, it's a crazy question. So let's move on. Before we go on, actually, I would like you to, don't forget to like this video, please. It's right here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. So I just started the channel, so subscribe it so that you can see all the videos and you don't miss any other notifications. So like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then of course we're gonna have new episodes every week. And then so I'm gonna open this podcast with a question. The question is, when was the last time that you really relaxed? What a tough question. But yeah, well, look, I'm not telling about not working, but checking your phone all the time, or I don't know, answer emails or thinking about work. No. That's not the case. The case is, when was the last time that you really, really relaxed and you simply took your mind off work, took your mind off school, college, whatever? So that's the question. And then it's something really hard because then we can arrive to that question. Why do we work so much? I mean, why do we work so hard? So these things, I know that there are many things that we can point out when we are talking about this topic, but let's go. Think about, for example, I'm building my career right now. So it is really, relevant that I can work because I'm building my career and I'm earning money, right? So I'm learning new skills, and I have to support my family in all of that. I know it's like we have to put this, and balance those things. We have to add this to this conversation. But and of course, there's nothing wrong, with working hard. There's nothing wrong. Actually, I do work hard, though I work from home, but it's a tough job. But then, sometimes I guess that, work slowly starts, taking over our life. When you realize, come on, you were working like hell, and that's not that healthy. Think about, for example, you were at home, like in my case, sometimes I'm at home, I'm not teaching, but then I'm talking to a student on WhatsApp, or I'm thinking about the next lesson. I'm thinking about like opening my schedule for the next week. So I'm still, worrying about things that go on in my life, especially my working life. So, for example, dinner with, I'm having dinner while thinking about work. It's horrible, like watching TV, but checking emails, or I don't know, maybe, cooking and checking the messages and, talking to people. And at the end of the day, we are working and, that's crazy. Does that sound familiar to you? Doing these things while you are relaxing. So, from all of that, we have great lessons. And then, my personal stories, like my personal experience, I love teaching English. I love learning languages. I love like helping students, and I plan lessons and I talk to the students. And then I realized usually, sometimes, when I'm doing other things, I realize that, I was almost working all the time, teaching, preparing lessons, and I'm reading things about how can I make my lessons better, reading articles, and then I feel guilty when I'm relaxing. Sometimes I'm, simply in my bedroom, just watching some television, but then right here, I'm thinking about how can I get my lessons better? How can I make it better? How can I do, differently? How can I please my students better? Sitting in the couch and, simply thinking about it. So, I should be doing something productive. I'm always like this, whoa, we have to produce. Come on, learn. It over, we got overloaded with all of those things. And, so sometimes I feel it. Sometimes I feel that when I'm not learning, when I'm not studying, I'm wasting my time. I feel that. Have you ever felt like that? Does that sound familiar to you? Well, so, many times I remember like that I was invited to do some other things, like my friends invited me over for we have a band, and then sometimes we want to rehearse, and then I look at my schedule and think, well, I can't, I'm sorry, I have classes. Well, I can't, I'm sorry, I have to prepare lesson. I can't, I'm sorry, I have I have a tutoring, I have to talk to my student. So it's kind of frustrating sometimes. And then the question that, while I was thinking about it, one of those days, and then there was this question that came to my mind, and then I asked myself, will this kind of work that I'm doing now, will this still be here tomorrow? Well, I bet the answer is yes, it will, for sure. It will always be here. I can always teach. I can always work with English, of course, not forever, but it's going to be there pretty much of my time. But then, on the other side, think about people that you love, like your friends, your family. Will they be here forever? Will they be always here for you? I guess no. So then when we put those two questions, and we look at them and you see, well, okay, so yeah, I have to give more attention to my family. I have to give more attention to my friends because, it's something that, will go away. Well, I have a daughter, I have a son. I have to stop, thinking about work and giving more attention to my daughter, giving more attention to my son, to my family, to my friends, because you will go and you will pass, and then there will be a moment that they will not be here. Do you know what I mean? So that's the question that, we have to start thinking about. And, and sometimes that's it. Close, I have to close my laptop, turn off the notifications and simply, spend time with my family, and, not feeling guilty about it. And then, of course, stop thinking about work. There's someone waiting for my message. There's someone that I have to respond on WhatsApp. But come on, relax a little, enjoy life. Mind these things later. Deal with this tomorrow. Set yourself boundaries. Set yourself moments for you to deal with this. Separate, what I call the shitty day, that which I will not be working. I will be simply watching, stupid things that I want to watch. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna do things that I don't actually do on a daily basis, because it's not always about learning. It's about living. And sometimes our mind needs it. We need to and then there comes something. Rest is part of productivity. Without resting, creativity drops. It's a big mistake that for being creative all the time, we have to be producing. No, resting is part of that. Charging your batteries. This is part of creativity as well. So what work-life balance really means? Well, it doesn't mean working less. It's not the case. It doesn't mean working less. It means working smarter, setting boundaries, knowing, when to stop, protecting your free time, so like set up a day or a moment for you to be free. That's the moment in which I'm not going to work, I'm not going to study, I'm not going to be on the learning mode. You know what I mean? So this is really important. And then, of course, exercise, sleep better, sleep more, talk to your friends, and then we have to think that, success isn't only about your career. It's also about enjoying your life. That is success. So then, I have now just for us like a final reflection. And then if for example, today, someone simply looked at your schedule, your calendar this week, what would they say? Would they say, well, you live a balanced life? Or would they say, come on, only work? What about free time? You know what I mean? So think about it. Take a look and mind for these things. And of course, I want to challenge you. And, I want to try to make one small change this week. Take one small change and, take a walk in the park, call a friend, play, spend more time with your family. And then something that, something that makes you, get free a little bit, take your mind off work. Take this challenge this week. I bet that this is going to make you much better. You're going to be more creative along the week. And that's it. Well, so that was it. It was a pleasure talking to you. I hope that this conversation could help you, improve more your English. Don't forget that to like this video, please subscribe to the channel. And, that's it. So I hope that this, this topic of today could, simply help you to disconnect a little bit from work. And that's it. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you next time on the Level Up English podcast. Thanks again for coming.